Alright, this is now P, or perceiving. We've gone through the 3 out of the 4 energetics so far. This only really makes sense as a whole playlist. It kind of makes sense on its own, but like I kind of introduce what I'll be doing at the first one with extroversion, which is the first video in the playlist. I'll probably do a recap, just kind of a freestyle compare and contrast after this. But yeah, that's 3 out of the 4 energetics so far. We've covered extroversion, which is multiple groups interacting with each other. We've covered judging, which is a single group interacting with itself. We've covered introversion, which is a single individual interacting with itself. And then we're about to cover perceiving, which is individuals interacting with each other. So that's conversation, one-on-one conversation, specifically. Not when there's like a group dynamic at play. When there's just you talking with somebody, you dancing with somebody, you arguing with somebody, or fighting with somebody, physically or verbally, it's a perceiving dynamic. And I don't mean perceiving in the sense of, like I said at the top of this isn't using conventional MBTI definitions. This is using the definitions that I've seen apply at a larger scale to more context than just perceiving as randomness. I don't know, but this is a bit more developed for me, so this is what I'm using. I got a sports example. That would be like combat sports when it's just one-on-one. UFC, boxing, those are the big ones. Tennis as well, not a combat sport, obviously, but it is it's a one-on-one, unless you're doing doubles, but still, usually it's a one-on-one sport. Those are the ST examples. Other ones I'm less clear on, because I'm not sure whether or not it actually needs to be competitive, or if there's actually a collaborative aspect going on at the same time. I don't know if it's just. I think it's probably just individuals interacting as individuals, not in teams. So, I mean, you can think about this in video games, to an example too. Like if you're doing multiplayer and you're on teams, that's extroversion. You're doing multiplayer, like Call of Duty, and it's just like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and it's like the Russians versus the Americans or whatever. That's like extroversion. If it's a free-for-all, which I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that is a mode of play you can engage in. That's P, because it's just every man for himself. So that's a more video game, maybe a more NT example. Moving on to NF. It's harder at this point. Not harder, but it's just I haven't thought about it enough to come up with a good example. But I'm coming up with examples for all these other ones, so I'm sure, I could. How about a roast battle? A roast battle. That's like when two comedians go up and they just try to joke, insult each other in clever ways. I say something, got to come up with something back. I mean, usually it's pre-written, but not always. I don't think. Then SF, that's like, I guess. I mean, it does. I don't think it. Like I said before, it doesn't necessarily need to be confrontational or combative. I think it can also just be constructive. Like I think, like if you're in a relationship with somebody, that relationship, romantic, platonic, whatever, is P. Anytime you're interacting with another person, that's P. Anytime you're interacting with yourself, that's I. Anytime you're interacting in a group, that's J. Anytime you're interacting between groups or with groups, that's E. And that kind of closes out the energetics, or E, J, I, and P, in that order. Yeah, so that's the end of the definitions. I'm going to make another video after this about just kind of me talking about these things. I don't know if I'll upload it though, just because. I'll see how good it is, and if it's worth anything, I'll just upload it. Might do it later, might do it right after this. I'm not sure, but yeah. So now that we're at the end of the playlist, if you did like it, or not even if you liked it, because I'm not about like really trying to. This isn't like going to be super entertaining. I'm just trying to get the information across. If you think like it's worth, other people, if it's worth you liking it to like say, hey, this guy has some good ideas or whatever, maybe about typology, maybe other people could get something out of this, then like it, or subscribe if you want to hear more. Not necessarily if you like it, you know. I mean, hopefully you did because it was informational, but I'm not Frank James out here really at this point trying to make like more comedic stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, so that's about it. Thanks for watching.